Cheryl Wilson. I am a silver ambassador with Plexus, and I just wanted to take a minute and share my story with you. I first got into Plexus for numerous reasons, but especially for one of my children and my husband. Um, and I didn't necessarily start off wanting to do the business. In fact, I kind of fought my friend on that for a while. She kept messaging me and kept emailing me and calling me, and I kept telling her, no, I've done MLMs before. I've sold jewelry, I've sold face stuff. I've tried it all. And so I was like, nobody's going to listen to me because I've sold so many of these things before. But this one is different. First of all, no other products that I've ever sold have changed my life. Make a couple extra bucks here and there, but other than that, that's all it did. So when I started Plexus, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take it. And if I run across somebody that wants it, awesome, I'll share it with them. I definitely wanted to get 3 people because that way my products would kind of balance out and I wouldn't end up paying for my products. So that was kind of my goal when I first started. But I have 4 kids. I've been married for 15 years to my husband. And one of my children was born, one of my twins was born with some struggles, nothing major, nothing that I can, complain about because I know there are so many people that have it so much worse. But he was born with epilepsy, severe ADD, sensory integration disorder or dysfunction. He was just out of balance in every way. You hear people talk about brain balance a lot. And when all of his issues kind of started to manifest themselves, I knew that something was out of balance. I wasn't willing to accept some of the diagnosis that we were given on him when he was just 3 and 4 and 5. The doctors didn't have any business diagnosing some things that they tried to tell us that he had at that age. And so it was a search. We searched for 7 years. When I say that we have been to every pediatrician in Dallas-Fort Worth, I'm not lying. When I say that we've been to every specialist, we did the specialized testing at Children's Hospital. We did specialized testing at Scottish Rite. We've done everything to try to figure out, to pinpoint what this stemmed from. When he was 7 years old, I found a doctor in Heath, Texas, who, through a long series of testing, figured out that he was celiac. When his blood work came back, he was deficient in everything. In fact, the doctor told me, he said, I know your son eats. He said, but his blood work is the blood work of a starving child. And so that was weird and just didn't make sense. And so more discovery, and he figured out that Caden was celiac, which is very rare for children at that age, at 7, to be full-blown celiac already. Usually that happens later on in life after you've continued to eat gluten when you're gluten intolerant. And so obviously we revamped the whole house. We took out all the food with dyes and I mean, very extreme, but we were that desperate for help. We knew what a genius this child was and what his personality had the possibility of having, but his personal struggles on the inside prevented the true him from shining through. And that was heartbreaking as a parent to watch. So took him off gluten, took him back to his neurologist 6 months after being gluten-free. His neurologist took him off of the seizure meds. We weaned him down off the seizure meds. And after 2 weeks of being off of seizure meds, we went in for an 8-hour sleep study and an EEG and all that to monitor his seizures. The end of that sleep study, the doctor comes out and he says, good news. He did not have one seizure, not when the strobe light was on, not when, they made him do all these different things, no seizure activity. So we were able to discontinue the seizure meds. Now, that was 2 of the pills that he took every day. He took 4 to 5 pills a day, prescription pills. He took seizure meds, and then he took 2 medical food supplements because the doctors had figured out there was some sort of link between the nutrition and the seizures, but they hadn't figured it out totally. So he was on these 2 medical food supplements. We were paying about $400 a month for prescriptions for him. So yeah, plexus is cheap compared to that. So moving forward to a year ago, when my friend Amber talked to me about plexus, and she talked to me actually for about a year total, off and on, before I actually decided to give the products a try. We had found some all-natural products for my son, and we had put them on, and they did make a difference. They made a difference, and we knew then, we were like, okay, this is the road we need to be looking on. It's nutrition, it's his body. We've got to power his body with the right things so that he can live like everyone else, and that's all we wanted for him. So I was happy with the supplements that we had found, but there was still some missing pieces. There were still some weaknesses for him. So I finally gave in to Amber and decided, you know what? We've tried everything else. What do I have to lose? And so it was a 60-day money-back guarantee. So I could literally give them to my son for 2 months. And if I didn't see a change, I could get all my money back. So I did. I ordered it for him and for myself at first. And we both started taking it. And I have to tell you, we've been on the products for a year. He is no longer on any ADD medication. His sensory is like 97, 98% controlled. It is literally the miracle that my husband and I have cried and prayed for 11 years. And so it's just been amazing as his mom to watch him now come through, the real him, not the one that's bogged down with all the sensory and all the frustrations on the inside. The therapist told us once, we've tried everything, like I said, so we had tried therapy. And she told me one time, she said, all of his stress and all of his anxiety is from the inside. It's not you as his parents. It's not his home. It's not his situation. It's nothing to do with anything except himself. Inside himself was just always like this on the inside. And so he never was truly happy because this was always going on the inside. Plexus fixed that. And that's all I can say about that. Like, he is a different child, and the people who are close to us know the difference in him. Different child. Moving on to my husband, he's had multiple neck and back surgeries, diagnosed with degenerative discs several years ago, lived in severe pain all the time. He took tons of medicine every day just to get through the day, just to be able to function. He never took so much that he was out of it or anything like that. But he had to take a lot of medication just to get through the day. And it's hard. I don't know if you've never lived with someone in chronic pain and you've never experienced watching someone hurt every day of their lives and still push through and still play with their kids and still work their tail off for their family. I was very passionate about wanting to get him some relief. And so I started him on the plexus, and he fought me on it. He didn't want to take it. He was like, babe, it's different. This is a surgery. This is pain from surgery. This isn't pain from, this or that. These kind of things don't work for this kind of pain. And I was like, okay. I mean, it may not, but everybody says it helps. So let's try it. And so he did. He tried it. And second week on the products, he took the triplex and the nerve. Second week on the products, he got out of bed and immediately stood up straight for the first time since I've been married to him. He always gets out of the bed and is kind of hunched over a little and moves pretty gingerly for the first bit that he's up. And then after a steam shower, his muscles will loosen up and he's able to move around more freely. And then the pain medicines kick in and then he's normal. 2 weeks into the products, he stood up out of bed straight for the first time in our entire marriage. And my mouth fell open and I just looked at him, tears just pouring down my face. because it was amazing. And he turned around and he looked at me and he said, I'm not hurting. I haven't even taken my pain pill this morning. That was a huge aha moment for us. We knew that it made a difference in Caden. I knew that I was a different person on plexus. But this was kind of the final thing for our family. Needless to say, we all are very faithful plexus users now. My son doesn't take any more medicine. My husband takes very little medicine, very little pain medicine, as long as, in fact, we ran out of plexus in October. We were out for almost a whole month, just because of just reasons. And he had to up his pain medicines the month of October that we had run out and didn't have any. And then my kids were grouchy. I was grouchy. Like, the whole family was like, oh my gosh, when are we getting more plexus? So for myself, it's so minimal compared to what it's done for my husband and my son, but I'm so happy with my results. I was celiac, always exhausted, 40 pounds overweight, extremely ADD, so much stress and anxiety. I was moody, and all of these things. I just thought, oh, this is part of motherhood. This is part of having 4 kids and being completely overwhelmed most of the time. Turns out that wasn't the case. I started taking plexus and I am a different person. My kids have a different mom. They used to say, oh Lord, Mom, please don't run out of your thyroid medicine. Because if you have that, you know that it can make you a little moody. And now they say, oh Mom, please don't run out of plexus. Please, please, please. We all feel that way. We never want to run out of plexus. And then the final thing I just want to share, I'm a hairstylist. I've always wanted to do work that I could in turn help people with. I wanted to help people with my job. And there's not a lot of jobs where you can do that. People come to me and I color their hair, I cut their hair, and it makes me happy when they look in the mirror at the end and they feel beautiful. When I can spend 2 hours on their hair and then it boosts their self-confidence, it empowers them, it makes them feel beautiful, it lifts their spirits. That is my passion. That is what I want to bring to everybody, but I can't do everybody's hair. Everybody has a stylist, and when someone needs one, they may find me, but that's even though it's helping people, it wasn't fulfilling my passion for that. And I realized just about a month ago, I decided I'm taking this business by the horns and I am doing this. I am doing plexus as a business now. No more just taking it for my family, because honestly, I've been convicted of that because it's extremely selfish. If I had found the best restaurant in Dallas, I would be posting it all over Facebook. Oh my gosh, everybody has to try this restaurant, best food. I do it now. When I find a restaurant that has awesome gluten-free menu, I post it. I tell my friends about it because I know I have a lot of friends who are celiac or gluten intolerant. And so I want to share with them when I find something that works or something that's good. And then here I am. I've been sitting on plexus for a year. I post about it on Facebook, but people aren't going to call me because of that. A few have, but I mean, that's not sharing. And so I want to not only make people feel better by letting them look pretty, helping them look pretty, not letting them, helping them look pretty or helping boost their self-confidence. Like, I want to make them pretty, but more than that, I want to make them healthy and happy. Your hairstyle goes away. Your hair dye is going to fade and your gray is going to show again. If you get healthy from the inside out, nothing can take your joy away. I had no idea that this was what living was going to be like at 37, because at 27, I felt way worse. I mean, way worse. There's no comparison. And so I just want to share with you, please, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I would love to share more. There's so much more, and my video is already almost 15 minutes long, which is way too long. If you've made it this far, thanks. Y'all know I have a tendency to ramble on and on and on, and I'm sorry. But I'm just so excited about this. I'm excited to get my business off the ground. And if you want to join me and you want to join my team, let's do it. Let's do it together. It's so fulfilling to watch your friends and family get healthy. And that is what I love the most about plexus. So that's it. Give me a call if you want to hear more about it. And otherwise, I'll probably be calling you. Have a good one.